well, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback from Houston, and that's Case Keenum.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And now running right through it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Bridgewater looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. McKinnon, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. They run once more with McKinnon. And he's got room. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. That's his longest run of the 1st quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Now a 1st carry here for Robinson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
When you talk about pure speed on the corner, you have to talk about Darius Slay because this guy in high school, 100-meter, 200-meter state champ, he can flat out run. The thing he's looking to increase, takeaways. Only 7 takeaways in his last 4 seasons. He wants to live up to his nickname, which is Big Play Slay.
Screen play, McKinnon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Throwing, Bridgewater. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
when you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now McKinnon, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Here's Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Time running out here on the play clock. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's McKinnon. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Here again is McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
He's getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Stafford is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Throwing again, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it.
And he's going to go down again. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Let's go.
They run it with McCammon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
To throw, Bridgewater. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Remain here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our 1st half of play.
Well read.
Well, thank you. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run here with Robinson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90. Set.
Throwing is Bridgewater. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Bridgewater. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. The second down throw for Bridgewater. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Darren Waller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He's now lost fumbles in back-to-back weeks. And, of course, you remember last week's game, such a close affair. That hurt him.
Hurt him in a big way, and it is so key to take care of the ball because, remember, the team making the fewest mistakes usually wins the game. So you got to take care of the ball, lock it away, high and tight as you often hear.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a second straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Caught on the right side by Jones. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They go back to Reddick. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Oh, nice move. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Let's go.
Bridgewater now on second down. And that'll be incomplete. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To the air again with Bridgewater. This complete to Mitchell. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, Charles, I guess the only thing I can think there is they've got a 3-score lead, and they're saying, well, we're not going to lose this, so let's have some fun. I don't know why you go for it.
I think that's as good an explanation as any, and we all know that certain coaches are more aggressive than others. That call to me, the fantasy people loved it, right? Anybody who's going to touch the ball, gain yards, maybe put more points on the board, they're happy that they kept it and did that. So very interesting deal there, but I'm with you on that one. Maybe he just says, what the heck, we can't lose. Let's go ahead and keep trying to win or add to our lead.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He hits Riddick underneath. That one good for 15 and a first.
That's exactly what Detroit wants to do with Theo Riddick. Find a way to get him the ball on 3rd down out of the backfield. Man's got excellent hands.
The numbers bear that out. 2 years ago, led all running backs with 80 catches. 10 games last year, 53 catches. On 1st down, Stafford here. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Stafford on 3rd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
2nd down following the run. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Bridgewater. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. And now here's a carry heading left. That good for 19 and a first down.
I got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go do the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but there's guys up front that have made a lot of space.
Play 90. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic.
Now they try the right side here. And some space here. Finding room inside the 40. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Jerick McKinnon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Stafford on first down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Eric Ebron's got skills to spare. They just want the production to equal those, and he needs some good health in order to get that done. Had 61 catches in 2016, battling an ankle.
Yeah, the surprise, though, just one of those 61 hit pay dirt. From the 50, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sharif Floyd coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Paul Warlow. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, they're in the 4th quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. After the interception, here's Stafford. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Daniil Hunter. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. second down. Here's Stafford. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Lions on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Final score now from Atlanta. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. Throwing here, Bridgewater. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defense.
I go out for my squad and I put that on. Squad. All I got is my word and my word is my bond. Squad.